two huge points that I want everyone to understand here. And first off, she knew exactly what she was doing. Remember how we discussed this address just a couple of days ago? Right before Linda Sarsour gave this speech, and this was at a very, very controversial conference at which Anwar al-Awlaki has been a previous keynote speaker. And sitting right there in the front was her mentor. Now, Linda Sarsour has acknowledged this very extremist imam, Siraj Wahhaj, as her mentor. Now, Andy McCarthy has a fabulous piece that's up at PJ Media that he wrote a couple of days ago, which highlights a little bit of this. And he, of course, everyone knows that, or maybe they don't, Andy McCarthy, he's the U.S. attorney who litigated against the blind sheik. You know who testified in defense of the blind sheik, don't you, Grant? It was her mentor, Linda Sarsour's mentor, Siraj Wahhaj. And do you want to know how he defined jihad? He defined jihad as violence. In fact, he defined it as sometimes all you have is faith in Allah and a knife. And in fact, it was that truth hadith that Linda Sarsour has tried to rely upon and use to backpedal and explain her comments in the Washington Post and elsewhere. It was that same hadith that her mentor, Grant, Siraj Wahhaj, used to define jihad as violence. And he used that, in fact, when he was defending the blind sheik and other parts of his ideology. So it seems to me that, I don't know if this is, and I'll just say, I don't know if this is Takia or whatever it is, but Linda Sarsour herself on Twitter has also alluded to jihad as being violence. And to play devil's advocate, Grant, for 1 minute, even if her defense rang true and was in any way legitimate, why in the world, especially if you're riding and or you're preparing a march against someone who used the simple phrase clenched fist of truth because people find truth so violent, why would you then, if you think that is so triggering, use a phrase like jihad in Western culture that has been absolutely targeted by terrorists, by extremists, who believe that jihad is a form of physical violent struggle? And that question is never going to be answered because Linda Sarsour, Grant, is too afraid and doesn't have the confidence in her convictions to actually debate that in an open forum because we know the real truth. Her mentor said it all.